Hey there, folks. This is KlerikReturns, returning to you with another episode of Who Protects the Protectors? I really gotta stop doing that high-pitched voice in my intros. I'm sure it's bothering the crap out of somebody. We'll change this real quick, but I do have plans in another section. We're gonna take a break from the docks today. Yeah, that's much better. Much better. Bueno. I like it. What was I going to do? That's right. Okay, so we're going to do the foundations of the two remaining buildings on this side of the bridge, a general store, and like a livery, I think is what they used to be called in the Old West days, but like a stable, place to hang your horse, not hang your horse, to stable your horse. So I guess stables is what I'm going for. Let's get a bucket and put out this lava. So, how's it going, guys? How are you doing? Oh, I forgot. I gotta delete the water this way. This is creative, after all. So exciting. Let's get some stone and fill this in. So, I've got something on my list of things to talk about, but I'm not sure I want to talk about it now that I'm here and talking. But I'm sure we will, because I don't have anything else prepared. I wish I did. I wish I had a huge list of things to talk about for every single episode that I put out, so that it would be easy to just jump from topic to topic and really share about things that are cool and important and spectacular. But that is not the reality of the things. Yes. Yes, indeed. So, instead, we're just going to talk about what I have planned. I mean, why not? I did not mean to do that. That's okay. So the thing that I had planned to talk about was in my Let's Play series. I took a few moments, a quick break in the midst of the episode to share one of the poems that I wrote and talk a bit about it. And I started a thought there that I really thought afterward that I would like to finish. So in this episode, we are going to finish that thought. How's that for a beautiful explanation? It's amazing, delicious, spectacular. Whatever. It's pretty late for me. I am recording later than I have ever recorded before. Lucky you. It's gonna be silly and off topic far more than usual, so I apologize in advance. But hang with me, it might get interesting. So right now's topic of choice is why people don't read or purchase poetry anymore. It used to be a very popular thing, from what I understand, back in the medieval, post-medieval days, almost up until the mid-1800s, post-Civil War, I'd say, maybe a little after. And I could be totally wrong, and it happened at a different time period, but to me it makes sense in that time period, because that is when individualism really took off as the philosophers, people who thought. It became popular thought of individualism, and a sense of community and connection kind of went away a little bit, so there was a focus on me, me, me. That's where it came from, or so people say. As I understand it, could also be totally wrong again. But along with this thought of individualism came, well, not thoughts to my head, because That would only not make sense. Ah, there we go. Yep, it is definitely late. I have rambled into nonsense. Let's expand this a bit more. Nope. Thank you. Let's see, I was talking about individualism, and then consumerism kind of came in the 50s, 1950s, 1960s. So we kind of skipped a little bit there, but I guess it takes time for the world to develop new things, new worldviews, and whatnot. But there was a thought that I had that I really wanted to share that I thought was important. Or at least relevant. At least relevant. Let's see if I can think of it here. Talking about individualism, consumerism. Ah, yes, the industrial age, where life just started moving faster. Things started happening faster. You wanted things now. You know, you got the assembly line, quote unquote, and you've got industrialization. What's the word? Where everyone moved to the cities. I had to think of it for an essay the other day. It's like urbanization, I think, is the proper term. So you had city life, and city people are busy people. You gotta work to make the money. And I feel like our day is ending early. I believe it was not morning when we first began, but that's okay. We'll roll with it. Rolling with my homies. Boom. Hello. So let's see. We are ready for some foundations. I'm going to clear out... Oops. Not this. I'm going to clear out the grass first, just so I can get a feel for the landscape. We here, we being me, at the KlerikReturns are very emphatic, place high emphasis on, how's that for rewording it 8 times? Put high emphasis on getting a feel for things. And I'm going to share also, while that topic is on my mind and relates to our other topic, poetry, well, wait, you know what? I have an outline. Straight up outline. So we'll get to this thought later. I know we will. We will get to it. Pardon me, I was scratching my head and could not look around because my hand was detached from the mouse. I'm tired, can you tell? Yes, I think you can. Okay, here we go. So, buildings-wise, we've got... These are made out of wood. The livery/stables should definitely be made out of wood, but I think the general store, which I think will go right on this side, it'll need a little bit extra room. We can make the stables more narrow, but the store should be deep. We will make it out of brick. Now the question is, do we want to do stone brick? Let's take a look at it. Here. Or do we want to do red brick? Or, let's take a look around and see what else we've got. Could do sandstone or quartz, but neither one of those sounds very wise. Could do nether brick, I suppose. Let's bring that out. I remember it being ugly. We used it somewhere over there before, and it was ugly. Okay, there's one. There's two. Oh, that's a little too close. For comfort. There is 3-ish. Okay, so taking a look, what goes best with our theme? So we've got the red brick, which really stands out. Very different from everything else. We've got our nether brick, which is close to the dark wood here, but it is kind of purpley. So, well, I think this is, well, let's consider the last one first. Not last one, whatever. You know what I'm saying. So there's this one, which kind of goes with the theme of the road, but you know, there's not much else. So it does kind of differentiate, but then it's also not quite as bold as the red brick. So I think we're going to go with stone brick. I know, kind of lame. Everybody builds with stone brick because it's a beautiful block. So that's what we're going to do. Wow, I lost track of that sentence in mid-sentence. I win tonight. Alright. Let me rearrange these. Perfect. Okay, let's see. Where was I in my talk? I was talking about why people don't buy poetry. Right, so consumerism, fast pace, fast pace of life, all accelerating to the 20th and 21st century, where we meet consumerism in the 1950s, and probably, let's see, after the Great Depression, basically. Credit and debt and all the craziness. How's this? Let's bring this out one more. And that looks even. It is so. How's that for size? I think I want it a little bit longer. Let's take it out as far as we can go. Perfect. So along with consumerism kind of comes this give it to me now and I'm going to shove it down my throat kind of mentality, a very low value but high consumption rate experience. So poetry is the opposite of this. It is a very high value and a very low consumption rate. You're supposed to take a poem and read it again and read it out loud and read it one more time to really understand what's going on. Or at least that's what my English classes have told me. I don't think it is so. But I am a consumer in a consumer culture, so how would I actually know? I don't. Neither do they then. All these wonderful thoughts floating through my head. Just going to share them all with you. Here they come, fire hose. So, yeah, so that it kind of doesn't fit our culture anymore, and that kind of makes sense, but there's definitely more to it than that. Is this tall enough? We're going to raise the roof on it. Maybe we want it taller, though, as a base. A base. Let's fill this in, too. Not that part, this part. So the other factor that I believe is at work in lack of popularity of poetry is that it's not popular. Seems redundant, I know, but there are times when things are in fashion, and there are times when things are out of fashion, and right now poetry is not in fashion. Or, ... is it? See, I think that instead of having a lack of poetry, we have an inundation of poetry. That's literally what I wrote in my notes. Inundation. We are inundated with lyrics and lyrical phrasing and words that mean more than the words themselves all the time, every day, every time we listen to music that has any sort of lyrics. And it's kind of like, in my opinion, it's kind of like junk food. Where is that? That's probably not even. Let's see. I want to finish my thought because I feel it's important. That actually appears to be evenish. Yes. Okay, so we can narrow it down to 2. I will now finish my thought. Inundated, so it's kind of like fast food in that we get the low quality stuff so that we're too full for the high quality stuff. We're too... I mean, it's like McDonald's. Like, you go to McDonald's or any other general fast food place and you get a burger or you get, something else, fries, whatnot. And they've done studies on this. I'm looking for a door. I can find a door. They've done studies on this to show that fast food places really have nailed it down to get you food that will leave you hungry and thirsty. And salty fries and tons of sugar and tons of fat, all these things are processed so quickly by your body that you feel less full and you get hungry sooner, or more soon. Sooner? More, whatever. I need to pause for a moment and gather my thoughts. Okay. So in that manner, we get junk food poetry every time we turn on the radio or MP3 player or Google Music All Access. Shameless plug, for which I make no profit. Gotta make sure I say that for the YouTube's peoples. Windows or no windows? That's the question. Small windows, large windows. I like large windows. I'm a fan. We'll do large ones. I got large ones over there, though. Okay, we're gonna do stripy windows. Can we do that? There. This is gonna be uneven. Oh, it's gonna be perfectly even. Ignore me. Don't ignore me. You're here to watch me. Ha ha. Let's see if we can do it on this one. 2 and no. So we'll have an extra wide in the middle, like that, I think. Okay, on with my hopefully interesting thoughts. Yes, so let's continue the rest of this episode and sound like Sean Connery. So poetry, just kidding. Could you tell I was kidding? Well, I certainly hope so. One more. Is that right? Oh, it should be directly across from the doors, which it is not. It should go here, right? In theory. That's not going to work out. That's not going to work out at all. Why is it so? Why is it so? Maybe it's got to be on that one. Okay, so we could do this. No, I did this. I just did this. We know it doesn't work, but I've got to do it anyway. So I've got to put that one there, that one there, that one there. And this one goes here because that is off center. Okay. So what if I move this one here? That's still off center, isn't it? From here. That means that this thing is probably not centered. Let's find out. I'll just make the building shorter. I can do that. Now, how does that work? I suppose it works out because this is what 1, 2, 3, 4. So we gotta make it a 1, 2, 3, 4 on here. Put a double window in the middle. Solution. Okay, back to the topic at hand. Now that we are through our second day, I think. Yes, sounds about right. Feels about right. Look at my list. Inundation, we talked about that. Junk food, we talked about that. So it kind of spoils your appetite for the really good stuff. The really high quality meats and cheeses. Meaty poetry. It spoils. That's a fair extension of the analogy. Junk food poetry spoils your appetite for the meaty poetry. Yes, meaty ones that you have to chew on and think about. So, other thoughts on this. It seems to me to be that I need to choose a floor pattern. I'm going to do some stone and stone slab. Yes. Beautiful. Different and awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. So the next idea that I had about why, there's many reasons why, because just one is not enough. Why? Because I said so. So, my next theory is that not only are we inundated, but any real substance has been, any poetry of any substance has been defamed, is a fair word, by the media as being silly or whimsical or simple. I mean, they teach poetry, they teach junior hires to write poetry. It can't be that hard. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. reference. And in a way, I think that's somewhat true. That some poetry is simple, and even a child can find a way to rhyme some words. That's a whole other level, rhyming poetry. Whoever said poetry had to rhyme? Nobody! Well, the people about 100 years ago did. But not anymore. That's why I try never to rhyme. I hate rhymes. That's a fair layout. I like this layout. Let's change this up to this. Oh. And oops. Lots of mistakes. That's okay. That and that. Yep. I like it. Fill that in, take that out, take that out, take that out, fill that in, take that out, and we're done. Looking very nice. Very nice indeed. So, looking at my notes, and, okay, right. So I'm sure, okay, we're about halfway through this day. I've got your attention, possibly, for a few more minutes. My final point, I guess, shall be made that not only has society and media made poetry a very simple, whimsical silliness, things of children. Dr. Seuss and whatnot, he's an amazing man, so I will never slam him. But beyond that, even the poets and the literarians, I have no idea what they're called, literature peoples, they just dissect. The scientific era has come to literature because everything nowadays has a term. Everything nowadays has, oh, this is from this era, so it contains this exact type of this humanistic or sociological evidence of blah blah blah. Are you asleep yet? Because I fell asleep as I was talking and sharing about that. Terrible. They dissect it and it loses its value. Absolutely loses its value. In my opinion. I find that some people, I get it. They enjoy learning about the context of something or the original meaning of something, and that stuff's kind of cool, but placing poems in a specific category or limiting them by placing them in a specific historical viewpoint, saying they can only mean this, I hate that. Poems are not meant to be limited in meaning. They are meant to speak of a moment or an emotion or a sensation. I like this building a lot. That's a sensation. Let's write a poem. Just kidding. We'll do that in another episode. But to finally make my point, I hate that they dissect it and label it, and to me that causes a loss in value and a loss in meaning. And when that's all that children are taught in school, I don't think I like this roof, so, well, we'll think about it. I'll just do it because I need to do something while I'm chatting. If the scientific labels are all that kids are taught in school, and that dampens and diminishes the value of poetic words, and because there's no heart in a scientific label. You can't say, oh, this is from the naturalist era. What does that tell me about life? What does that tell me about how this person lived or what they understood about themselves? Next to nothing. And so I think, while, it's not for everyone. Not everybody gets poetry. But people should really push to engage people's minds, children's minds, with deeper thoughts of, so this guy wrote a poem about a guy committing suicide. How does that make you feel? Instead of, well, let's not talk about that because that's awkward. No, this is real kind of stuff. Poets are the kind of people who see what goes on below the surface and brings it to the forefront in beautifully crafted words that hide it from our inhibitions. That's what I think. All right. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for building with me and rapping about poetry and why nobody reads it anymore. I'm going to get off my high horse now. That's really ridiculous. I can't believe I just did that. Okay. I'm sure our time is almost up, but I am sleepy and tired, and I'm probably going to write a poem because my mind's on it. Maybe I'll share it with y'all next time. If it's good. If it's bad, I'm going to hide it and burn it. Anyway, until next time, thanks for watching. Remember to leave a like. Cleric out.